Hey, what's up, collectors? It's Miguel here as always, and welcome to another episode of That Geek Statue Show right here on Toy Quest 101. On today's episode, we're going to be unboxing and reviewing the cool gray Notorious B.I.G. statue from Concrete Jungle. And that episode is going to start right now. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back. Miguel here as always, and welcome to another episode of That Geek Statue Show right here on Toy Quest 101. Now, today we got a good one for you guys because we're going to be unboxing and reviewing the cool gray variant of the Notorious B.I.G. statue from Concrete Jungle. Now, guys, especially if you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing to Toy Quest 101, and don't forget to hit that notifications bell so you don't miss any toy reviews, statue unboxings, or any celebrity guests that might pop up on our show. Now, guys, it's pretty funny how I got a hold of this statue. I went to my barber shop and there was a box there when I opened up the door to get my hair cut, and I feel like it was a setup because I was like, man, that box looks like there's something inside that I would review. And of course, my barber set me up for failure because someone gave him this statue and he knew I would like it, so he allowed me to take it home to review for you guys today. And I think it's really cool, and it's funny because I've seen Concrete Jungle at the Comic-Cons. I've seen some of their products, online. I'm a huge fan of music. Wu-Tang Clan, Biggie Smalls, Redman. I mean, there's so many out there, and they do a lot of hip hop and rap stars in form of statues. And today, like I mentioned before, I'm gonna be reviewing the Notorious B.I.G., arguably one of the best hip hop rappers of all time. And man, I'm super excited. Now, they made a couple variants of this. Now, I don't know too much about the company. The only thing I really know is how many statues they do as far as, with hip hop and R&B and stuff and rap. And I know that with the Biggie Smalls, the first one that I seen was a couple years ago. It was the colored variant of this statue that we're gonna be reviewing today. And of course, they also had another one, which was like a blacked out version. And today we have the cool gray variant, which is a grayscale variant of this statue of Biggie Smalls. And they made 400 pieces of these, so all their runs are limited. And that first one that I mentioned, the colored one, is going online for like about, you can see it from like $2,000 to $3,000, sometimes $5,000. So this is really cool, especially if you're into rap, if you're into music, and you want to have a rap collection of statues. This is something really cool to get. Now, let's start with the box as always. And man, this art box has so much detail in it, and it's paying homage to so much that Biggie did throughout his career. I mean, here in the front, you're gonna see him. This is how the statue is gonna look, but he's on his chair, on his throne, with that the king crown on, which is really cool, and the stack of money on the bottom. Now, this is pretty famous for Biggie Smalls. You always see him with the crown. That's like his thing, the king of rap, king of hip hop. So I think that's cool, especially that being the fact that that's the statue we're gonna be unboxing and reviewing today. On the side, you're gonna see a picture of him in front of that bodega, in front of that store, where there's a video of him rapping right, I think, before he got his big break, his big contract. That's very, very deep cut of Biggie Smalls, and I do like that. And I also believe that this statue does have some homage to that bodega in it as well. I think it's in the back of the statue. We're going to take a look at that. It's got the 10 crack commandments here, which I thought was cool. You have a lot of different things. You got Frank White here on the side as well. They're paying homage to a lot of his music, a lot of the album covers and videos, as you could see here when he was a child. I mean, man, there's so many things here. The graffiti, the different looks and the different stages of Biggie Small, which I think are cool, man. And this is gonna be really exciting to open up and unbox, so let's get to it. All right, guys, welcome back. As you could see, Biggie Smalls is out of the box and on our turntable. And I do gotta say, man, this is a fun looking statue, man. I love putting it together. Everything fit right. It's magnetic. The keyholes were pretty good. And man, it just looks fun. I didn't think I was gonna like the grayscale as much. I mean, I do probably prefer the colored version, which is not available anymore, but it still looks pretty cool. And again, what I like about it is that it does pay homage to a lot of different things from his career, from his life, and there's a bunch of little Easter eggs, which I absolutely love. Now, the first thing out of the box is this print, which is basically the wraparound art of the box. And I love this, like I mentioned before, because again, it has a lot of Easter eggs. You see a lot of different stages of Biggie Smalls' life. I mean, you see him here as Frank White. You see him here with the fedora. You see him here like he is interpreted in the statue, sitting on his throne, the King of New York. You got that really famous purple sweater, multicolored sweater that you always see him in pictures with. And of course, throwback to when he was in front of that bodega rapping, which we're gonna talk about with the statue as well. You got the hearse, his album covers, the 10 crack commandments. I mean, there's so much things to appreciate just in the art print, just in the art box. And I love that they included this. So Concrete Jungle's doing a good job, man. And I do gotta say that as I was marketing for this anticipated review, I already had people asking me if I was gonna do reviews on any of the Wu-Tang guys, you know, Nas, things like that. So it'd be interesting to see how people like this, and interesting for me to see if I'm gonna do another review for Concrete Jungle. This is really cool. Brownie points here for including this beautiful art print. Now guys, let's talk about the statue again. They only made 400 of these, so it's super limited. This is the grayscale version of the Biggie Smalls statues. Now, as you could see, when I was putting the statue together, it gets put on pretty well. It's really, really good. It's not a big statue, which is good. It doesn't take up a lot of space, but man, this is beautiful. Now, it does come with 3 different swap outs for the arms and head portraits. Let's talk about those head portraits right now. Now, the one currently on him is the regular head portrait with no sunglasses, no hat on, but that enables you to put on the crown and the sunglasses. And for me, when I think of Biggie Smalls, that's the most iconic version of him, wearing that crown, wearing the shades, or even without the shades if you don't want. And he's sitting on his chair, on his throne, with his cane, smoking a blunt. For me, that's Biggie Smalls. Now here you got another interpretation of him with the fedora. I think this is cool. This is very gangster, paying homage to the old school gangsters of New York. This is a really cool one. The black and white version looks really good with this one. I think this is super dope. This is another one. So it's very hard to pick and choose which one you want, but it does enable you to switch out your portraits whenever you want. If you want to do it different seasons, some people do, some people don't. I generally just keep the one on. I don't want to keep messing with the statue. But this is another very good option for you to go ahead and put on Biggie Smalls. Now here's the Frank White version here, where he's got his glasses. You see smoke coming out of his mouth, which is gonna look good with the cigar or the blunt that he has in his hand. Now this is really cool too. Again, black and white, so you have another third option, which I think is phenomenal. And you have 3 different arm options. You have him with the cane here. You have, which I love, you got the big ruby or the big diamond on his pinky. You have the cane here, which is really cool. And the other option is gonna be him just holding a stack of money, which I thought that was cool too. It does match with all the stacks of money you see underneath his chair. And it also does come with a separate stash of, you know, cash here, which is pretty cool, a brick of cash. But yeah, this is cool. He still has the same, you know, pinky ring here. He's got the brick of cash in his hand. And I love the way the smoke is kind of going around him and the actual chair. But this is a second option for an arm swap out. And here's the other, this is my second favorite. I don't really care too much about the money, because the money's already represented on the bottom. But the bubbly, man, you gotta love this. This is really cool. The King of New York, it says on the bubbly. It's kind of popped, you know, the pop champagne is on there as well. But this is another cool option to have him with the bubbly on the throne. So it's really hard, guys. The hardest thing about this statue is for you to go ahead and figure out what option you think you like the most. For me so far, even though I'm really liking this bubbly, is him with the cane. So let's talk about the rest of the statue. Now that you saw all the different options for Biggie Smalls, man, this is so cool. Let's talk about the base first, guys. First and foremost, the base is pretty cool. He's kind of like on a platform, which is neat. And you're gonna see him on this giant chair, this throne. In the colored version, it's a gold throne. Here it's silver. The details are incredible. I think you see him more in the gold version in the pictures, but you do see them here in this grayscale version. You're gonna see his initials here, Big B.I.G right here on the side. A lot of roses and stuff around the chair as well. And there's a lot of details and engravings. You see a crown there. There's so many things and so much effort that they put into the details of just the chair alone that I'm really, surprised at how much detail they put on this, because it looks fantastic. They didn't have to do that. They did. Even on the bottom of the chair where you really don't see, you see a lot of details. And this, for me, tells me right off the back, without knowing so much about Concrete Jungle, is that they are fans of hip hop, of rap, of music. They made sure to pay homage the right way. They made sure to give us a lot of details, which they didn't have to, and they made sure to have a lot of Easter eggs. So shout out to them. I give you guys props for that. Let's talk about the stack of money all around the bottom of the base. You're gonna see all the stacks, all the bricks here of money. Biggie Smalls is kind of just, having his feet up on the money, which I thought was cool. And man, this is just really iconic, of course, to Biggie Smalls. And this is pretty deep cut when it comes to, who we're talking about here, this legend in the rap game. Now, guys, check out the Butters, man. I know this is not the colored version, but these are the original Tims, the Butters, right? You see the sole here, the tread watch. They did a good job with the sculpt. This is probably why I would love the colored version better, because of his sweater, which we're going to talk about, and the Tims, man, they just stick out for me. That's just iconic to New York, iconic to Biggie Smalls. But the sculpt itself looks good. You can see the wrinkles in the pants and stuff, and of course all the details, the laces and stuff in the Tims, the tongue, the soles out. I mean, this is pretty cool, man. I really love this. Now, when we talk about that sweater, again, now I know this is a gray variant version, but this sweater is very iconic, very popular for Biggie Smalls. You see a lot of pictures with him with that purple, I don't know if it was Versace, I can't remember the brand of that sweater, but a super famous sweater, and it looked really neat. For me, that's why the colored version I think will look cool with this, because all those colors would pop out. But man, you see that here, still pretty cool. Another accessory comes with this chain, and this is an actual chain, his Jesus piece, which I thought was cool too. It does come off and on his neck, which is really cool. So it does have some movement to it. Thought that was pretty neat. Now his right hand has the, the cigar or the blunt, whatever you want to call it, with his Rolex as well. And you're gonna see the smoke coming from that cigar wrapped around his, hand, wrapped around him, and more importantly, wrapped around the base and the chair, which I thought that was just a really, really cool look. Now for me, the back of this statue says a lot. So I would probably tell you guys, if you can, to buy an electronic rotating base like I have here, turntable, because you want to go ahead and appreciate everything about this statue. And this bodega, this grocery store, is iconic to Biggie Small. That's that video where you see him rapping. This is right before he got like super famous, in front of that bodega, and it's really, really detailed. Again, the colored one probably will pop out more, but you're gonna see that classic bodega, guys. If you're from New York, you're gonna see bodegas everywhere, newspaper articles, graffiti. You're gonna see a bunch of like, magazines and a lot of flyers on the windows and stuff. And you're gonna see that here, which is pretty cool. And you got the apartment on the top. You got the doors that kind of go up to those apartment on each side. You got the Frank White graffiti here, Biggie 3997, the apartment number. This is really cool. King of New York. There's a bunch of things on here that just pay homage to him. Very, very small Easter egg details that they didn't have to do, but it's really, really cool. You got Notorious here spelled out as well. Biggie Smalls, Ready to Die. I mean, there's so many different quotes and different things from his lyrics on here that it's just too much to tell. And every time I look at it, I see something different. But man, the amount of details that they put, you got the caged windows on the bottom. I mean, there's so many different details. Even the posts here are full of flyers and stickers. It just really shouts out the bodegas here in New York, and of course paying homage to that one iconic video of Biggie rapping. But man, this is cool. So I would definitely recommend an electronic turntable. This is freaking neat, guys. I'm not gonna lie, I knew I was gonna like the statue. This is Biggie Smalls, right? I think anything that has to do with Biggie Smalls I would like. but this is really well done. It's pretty heavy too. It's about a good 10 or 15 pounds, man. But this is a cool statue, guys, especially if you're into music. If you're into statues or any type of collectibles, this is a great mashup. You have a lot of different options. Dude, shout out to Concrete Jungle, man. The artist did an amazing job. The sculpt is amazing. QC, everything that they did, putting the statue together was very easy. The options, it's packaged very, very well. Love the art box. Guys, this is only about $300 to $400 online. It's still available. We're gonna have the links in the bio of the video. And you're gonna see all the different types of artists and rappers and hip hop artists that they have for sale. Like I said, they got Wu-Tang, I love Wu-Tang. Got Redman, Nas, I saw a couple other ones on there. But man, they got a lot of cool statues there that you guys will like. And man, if you wanna start your own hip hop shelf, you could start with Biggie Smalls. So shout out to my barber, Sergio, man, for, you know, setting me up right with this statue. I think this was cool. Unfortunately, I got to return it to him. It is his, man. But man, thank you so much for allowing me to take this home, trusting me with this, and reviewing it for the fans out there. This is really cool, guys. I highly recommend Concrete Jungle, guys. Let us know in the comments, what do you think about this statue? What's your favorite part about this statue? Are you into rap? Is Biggie your favorite? Let me know what your thoughts are. What was your favorite part of this statue? There's a lot of things here that I like, and it's hard to tell which one's my favorite. So I want to know what your favorite part is. Guys, we're gonna have the links in the bio. Again, they only made 400 of these, super limited. It's about 300 bucks, I believe. Check out the link in the bio, guys. Make sure you check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And don't forget to subscribe to Toy Quest 101. We'll see you guys on another episode. Bye, guys.